sir, you're out of order.
Out of order? I show you out of order. You don't know what out of order is. If I were the man I was 5 years ago, I'd take a flamethrower to this place.
The views expressed on the following broadcast do not necessarily reflect those of KHLT, Take 12 Radio, or our affiliates. The opinions on this show should not be considered as medical, psychological, or professional advice and are those of the host, co-host, and guest. Take 12 Radio and KHLT Recovery Broadcasting are not affiliated with any particular 12-step fellowship.
Nope.
When static of life fills your brain and the world seems a little too insane, just twist that dial, don't hesitate. There's a haven where good vibes await. Tune in and Take 12 for some joy and cheer. It's the sound of hope coming in crystal clear. Recovery talk, the music so grand, a beacon of light, a helping hand.
Yes, indeedy, the Monty Man has got his voice back. Woo! Unfortunate for most of you. Hey, welcome to the Take 12 Recovery Radio Show. I am the Monty Man, recovered alcoholic, being joined by Dion Miller.
Hello.
TrudgingTogether.org and Raw Recovery. Yeah.
Recovery talk.
Our intern Kat is in the studio with us. My wife Marsha's in the office. And the trolls are dancing, bringing you the topic this week. Taking recovery to the streets, helping people outside of the rooms of the 12-steppers. What do we do when we leave the building? We'll be talking about that today, here on a fabulous episode of the Take 12 Recovery Radio Show.
The music so grand, a beacon of light, a helping hand.
We like blowing stuff up. You like blowing stuff up, Dion?
Absolutely. I'm a boy.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I was walking through Home Depot the other day, and there were all these, Halloween decorations, and I pressed every button I could.
Oh, like the try me buttons, the little.
Yeah. Over there chuckling like a little kid.
We had a theater in my hometown that the plumbing in the boys and girls bathrooms, like I think the boys' bathroom was upstairs, the girls was downstairs, but it was a straight shot from the toilet upstairs to the one downstairs.
Yeah.
We throw cherry bombs down the toilet upstairs, and it would blow up in the toilet downstairs. And first we wait for our favorite gals from school. Janet's going to the restroom. Oh, let's get up there quick! Like that cherry bomb. We were mischievous.
Yeah, well, we had a little bit more time on our hands and access.
Yeah. Right. He was. Roger's not with us this week. He's on the road in Arizona. But I believe he'll be back next week. So the topic, helping people outside of AA, NA, CA, DA, BA, whatever A. And what does it mean to take recovery to the streets? So we mean that literally. We're going to talk about that, but we've got something. Yeah. See, my voice is still not 100%.
Yeah, it's still a little raspy. It's not quite there yet.
Yeah,
it's close.
You can probably sing a Joe Cocker song pretty well. But anywho's it. Before I forget, listeners, have you ever felt like you were stuck in your recovery? Just kind of rancid and well, I got a book for you.
Put away that pocketbook.
Hold on, let me grab it. I'm really prepared today. Okay. Our Take 12 Recovery Radio contributor, Dr. Alan Berger's book, 12 Essential Insights for Emotional Sobriety, Getting Your Recovery Unstuck. I guarantee you, if you read this book and apply the principles in it, it'll refresh your 12-step experience.
Interesting.
Yeah. So here's a quote. Here's a quote from it. Perfection is not doing things perfectly. It's expecting ourselves to do things perfectly. It is the relentless drive towards an unrealistic, inhuman, and unattainable goal.
Wow.
So it's not doing things perfectly. It's expecting ourselves to. But anyway,
right.
Dr. Berger is, he's just an amazing guy and a good friend. And he supports Take 12 Recovery Radio every year. And then I want to, I'll save that for the break. Okay. So we got a brand new segment. Here we go.
Ooh.
Da-da-da.
Hey there, friends, gather round. It's Muncie the Man with stories profound. We're diving into tales, both wild and bold. Time to play true or false. Let the fun unfold.
Yes, it's time to pay.
Yeah. Hey, whoever wrote that song for you, that was pretty good.
Yeah. We got a whole team. We got the Take 12 Recovery Radio Make Believe Orchestra right here in Albany, Oregon. True or false, where you have to guess. Hey, Kat, move that microphone over. So I want you to play too. Kat's gonna grab her microphone here. So that's number 2, Mike. Ooh. Oh. The gain's on. Okay. What? Are you getting tangled up there?
Yeah, a little tangled up.
There you go. Okay, so Kat's going to join us on this. You can't see her, but you'll be able to hear her. Okay, so guess true or false. Now, if you get every one of these right, this is what you get. Nothing.
Yeah.
All right.
Nothing.
You get an attaboy. Good job.
Okay, true. We got 3 stories. Okay.
Okay.
You can't look.
Oh.
Okay. 3 stories. The first one, when Tamara Baker was 8 years old, her dog Fluffy followed her dad to the bus stop. Tragically, Fluffy was hit by a truck. Her dad, devastated, buried the dog before the family left town for the weekend. But when they returned home on Sunday evening, Fluffy was standing on the porch. Her dad was stunned. I buried him on Friday, he said. Turns out Fluffy had only been knocked unconscious, clawed his way out of the grave, and waited patiently for the family to come home. Is that story true or false? Kat,
it is
true.
First.
False.
Okay, Kat says false. Deon says
I said mine too early. I apologize.
That's right.
I'm gonna go with true because I've actually had this happen to a friend of mine.
Okay, so you're gonna say true. Kat says false. Well, Kat, it is actually true. So Deon gets the bell. Yay! It's a true story.
Well, I'm glad the dog was okay.
Yeah.
Lucky. Thank God for the dog. Did you hear about the atheist who had dyslexia who didn't believe in dog?
Wow, that's bad. That's good. It's good bad.
So, well, it was clean. So
okay, story number 2. In 1945, a farmer in Fruita, Colorado. You're in Colorado, aren't you?
I am. So I might be able to get this one, but I doubt it.
Okay. Tried to behead a chicken for dinner. The axe missed just enough of the brainstem that the chicken, later named Mike, didn't die. Instead, Mike stood up and kept walking around. Not only did he survive the day, he lived for 18 months without a head. The farmer fed Mike with an eyedropper and took him on tour across the U.S. where people paid to see the miraculous bird. Scientists confirmed the part of the brain that controls basic motor functions had been left intact, and a blood clot prevented Mike from bleeding out. He eventually died by choking on his own mucus in a motel room. Is that story true or false, Kat?
True.
What do you say, Dion?
You know, I want this to be true, but just for the adventure of it, I'm going to go with false, so we can get to kind of take the opposite side. But I want this to
You
be
want it to
true.
be
18
true?
months.
Well, sorry, Dion.
Oh man.
Yeah, Kat, you got it right. It is true.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. We're having fun now. Okay, we got one more. So listeners, they're going, what's this got to do with recovery? Everything. Because if you're not
Everything.
having fun in recovery, you need a,
Absolutely.
yeah, I don't know what you need. Anyway, go away. Okay. Here's the story. It was supposed to be a routine flight from Atlanta to Miami. Jerry Thompson, a 42-year-old HVAC technician. What's HVAC? Is that air conditioning and stuff?
That's your air conditioning
okay.
and heating, yeah.
With a fear of heights. This guy had a fear of heights. And a love for crossword puzzles, had never even considered skydiving. But fate, turbulence, and a poorly labeled emergency door had other plans. Somewhere over Central Florida, Jerry got up to stretch his legs. He spotted what he thought was the bathroom door, tugged it open, and was immediately sucked out of the plane at 30,000 feet. No parachute, no helmet, just khakis, a polo shirt, and sheer panic. Miraculously, he plummeted through a patch of low-hanging clouds and into the backyard of the Rodriguez family in Sarasota, Florida. Their 6-year-old daughter, Bella, had just gone inside for a juice box, leaving her inflatable kiddie pool filled with exactly 18 inches of lukewarm water and 3 rubber ducks. Jerry hit the pool with a splash that could be heard from 3 blocks away. The pool exploded, the ducks flew, but somehow Jerry survived with nothing more than a bruised tailbone and a newfound appreciation for gravity. Local news dubbed him the Miracle Man of Sarasota. He was interviewed on the morning show, offered a book deal, and even got a free lifetime supply of pool noodles from a grateful manufacturer. When Jerry was asked how he felt about all of this, he simply said, I guess I finally faced my fear of heights, but next time I'll be taking the bus. All right, Kat, is that true or false?
Well, if that's a commercial flight, I think that's false.
What do you think, Dion?
I'm going to go with false
Are we
also.
referring to about the commercial flight?
Alexa's chiming in.
Yeah.
Alexa,
I heard that.
Alexa, stop. So you guys aren't buying it, huh?
Nope, not buying that one.
There's a lot of holes in this story.
A lot of holes?
Yeah.
A lot of holes, including the noodles and
Well, there's a hole in her pool, that's for sure. But it isn't made by Jerry. You're right. It is absolutely false. You both got it right.
Woo! Good job. we tied on that one.
That's
Good job,
that's the
Pat.
kind of story you get when you ask Chat GPT to make up a story.
Yeah.
When you ask for advice, you know.
You get the details like the 3 ducks.
The 3 ducks flying. Yeah. Yeah. The juice cup. She's going in for a juice. The part that I loved was after going through some low hanging clouds, as if the clouds were going to break his fall.
It just didn't quite fit, and then going, and then, little Missy goes in to get her juice box. That's what got me. I'm like, how is her going in to get a juice box?
Have anything to do with anything? Yeah. Okay, let's wrap up true or false, and we'll come back with the topic.
True or false, let's take a chance. Dive into the stories, let your instincts dance. Fiction or fact, just guess what you see. Step right up now, come play with me.
We'll be right back. Hey there, my friends. Listen, life-controlling issues aren't limited to substance abuse. Everyone has something where the tail is wagging the dog. Character defects and shortcomings that manifest in a variety of ways. And though the symptoms we display can be very different, the fuel that drives these defects of character is always the same. You and I have a God-shaped hole and we attempt to fill it with our own intellect and our so-called good ideas rather than with spiritual principles and biblical truth. Well, I'd like to introduce you to the Acts Social Podcast, a podcast that brings you behind the scenes with top ministries on the Acts Social platform, a social network built to spark revival and gospel impact. Hear powerful testimonies, creative ministry strategies, and raw stories of how God shaped these leaders through trials and triumphs. These refreshing episodes will equip and inspire you to live out your best life while serving the God who is God. So, visit us at take12radio.com and click on the Recovery Podcast Network link for a variety of inspiring shows and our newest member, the Acts Social Podcast. That's take12radio.com and click on the Recovery Podcast Network link.
This is Chris Schroeder. You are listening to Take12Radio.com. Recovery talk and positive music.
Yeah, I almost expect to see a bunch of kitty cats dancing or squirrels or something. Okay.
Rabbits. Yeah, there's some rabbits in there.
Wait, there's some rabbits. Yeah, you betcha. Some scorpions. Their little tails. Tink, tink. I'm getting really dark now. Okay. So Dion Miller from trudgingtogether.org and Raw Recovery. Please visit his website and check him out. He is now officially part of the Take 12 Recovery Radio family as one of our permanent co-hosts. And we're so
I'm
excited to have you join us, man. I'm
Thanks,
just,
Monty.
I've been keeping up with you for a while, and let me tell you something, listeners. If you want to get a point of view that'll stir your soul one way or another, it won't be boring. I promise you. You really need to check out trudgingtogether.org and Raw Recovery and go to his Facebook page. It's linked up here at Take 12 Radio. Dion, you have been faithful for how long doing this thing every day?
7.5 years now.
7.5 years. Yeah. Bringing recovery to social media.
It's been a road. It really has. We're not about, if you show up to one of my lives, you're probably going to see 3-4 people. I don't have the biggest following. But the whole point is if I can help one person a day, then it's done its job. It is far from perfect. We do not edit. What you get is what you get. It's very raw. And we like to have hard discussions. We talk about the hard things. Absolutely. Yeah, and I love it.
So 3 people show up, but then they take what they've learned or what they've gleaned from what you've done, and they take it to somebody. And what was that commercial? I think it was a perfume commercial. And she tells 2 people, and they tell 2 people, and they tell 2 people. You know what I mean, right? And that's what happens.
It's the ripple effect.
Which is a great segue into this topic because, the promo graphic had a picture of like Skid Row in the background when we said taking recovery to the streets, which the Doobie Brothers started out our show. And then we went right into a clip with Al Pacino from Scent of a Woman.
Yep.
Fabulous movie, by the way.
Great movie.
And, just for fun. But the deal is we think of taking it to the streets as literally going, to downtown Portland or Seattle or New York. Sure. And though we do that kind of thing, quite literally, that is exactly what you're doing. That's exactly what I'm doing is we're taking the message of hope and recovery outside of the rooms of the 12-step movement. and going a step further. And really, when you think about it, in a very modern way, in a very futuristic way, I suppose.
Mhm.
This is kind of what Bill and Bob and the gang wanted us to do, right?
Absolutely.
Because meetings were suggested only in the beginning. Prayer and meditation was absolutely required, but meetings were
Yep.
suggested. And there was a time, and we talked about this before, where those of us in the rooms of AA, NA, CA, et cetera, we took the message to the streets. Literally, we
Mhm.
made the
Oh, yeah.
approach, right? We didn't
Mhm.
wait for people to come to us, did we?
Right. No, absolutely not.
So what happened?
Yeah, it's a great question. Um, it's something that I have noticed also, and I wouldn't say that, I'm not sure the best words that, but I do a lot of Zoom meetings. I do a lot of going live, things like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Um, and it's great that I can, help somebody in Australia or maybe, on the other side of the country. But really my concern is my community. I'm not trying to save the world, but if I can help change a few lives, that's great. But otherwise, I work in, I'm in North Glen, Colorado. I'm in Adams County, so most of the effort that I put in is in Adams County. Helping with new detoxes, treatment centers, making sure that the recovery coaches and sober livings are doing what they're supposed to be doing. There's a lot of different connections
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
Absolutely there.
Yeah. So
So
it makes me think of that old saying, grow where you're planted,
yeah,
be an influence where you're planted. Um,
yeah,
and I think you're right. I think our pastor said week before last, he challenged the congregation. He said, some of you have been going here for years and you haven't got, you're not doing anything.
yeah,
You're a spectator. He said, I'm going to
yeah.
challenge you. You need to serve here, right here.
Hmm.
This is where you call home, right?
Yeah,
Because unless you learn how to serve in your own home, and quite literally, right?
yeah,
Because the way
absolutely.
the way we treat people in the world who we run into on a daily basis does reflect the way we treat each other in our own homes and families, and same thing with our
Absolutely.
gatherings. The way we treat each other in our 12-step rooms
Hmm.
is going to be a reflection of what we do outside of the rooms and vice versa. Um,
Yeah,
but we need to be serving in our homes first, and I agree with you.
right.
But at the same time, there are people that would never walk through a church, a synagogue, a 12-step meeting, a counseling
Sure.
room, or anything unless somebody had approached them, right?
That's usually how it works. Yes.
So we have a thing here, and I'm sure you guys do. Well, Colorado, I'm sure you guys do too. But, during September, which is National Recovery Month, right?
Yes.
There's
We have that
recovery in the
here.
parks all over the place. There's hands across the
Yeah.
bridge, in just about every state, and lots of those people that go to that. We have a thing called Recovery in the Park that's usually in June or July. Um,
Okay.
those folks end up coming into the rooms of recovery just because they were at the park. They weren't going to the park to get recovery. They were going to the park because it was a safe place to,
Yeah.
down some
Or,
uh,
yeah. Maybe
old
they were going to.
English or
Yeah. Exactly. That's why we have them in the
yeah,
parks.
yeah,
That's why we have them, and we're not separated and put away. I think social media has a big thing to do with it. When you see everybody walking around with their heads down and not making eye contact anymore, people start to get a little uncomfortable with human contact.
yeah.
And gosh, it is so easy to hide behind a camera and give your views, but not really have to be accountable.
Oh, yeah,
It's easy
yeah.
to do. I've slipped into it myself, absolutely. Um, but I think this separating and this not having as much human contact has a big effect on us.
Sure. So when COVID happened,
Oh.
And one of the things that I think was a wake up call for the recovery community, especially for the old timers, was that when people started relapsing right and left because they couldn't get to a meeting, what we learned was that we had been raising people to be meeting dependent and not God dependent.
Yep.
And so when the meetings closed, they were in deep weeds.
Yeah, because they didn't know what to do. There was their real reliance was on the group.
And that's fine in the beginning.
Sure it is.
But the whole point of the steps is to move on from there, right?
Yep.
And so we had a lot of people in trouble. And so it's like that. There was a book that came out years ago called "It's Friday, but Sunday's Coming," and I couldn't stand it because it was like, I'm not okay unless I can get to church on Sunday, so I'm white knuckling it all week. Well, it's the same thing in AA and NA and CR. It's like, I got to get to that Tuesday night meeting. It can't come fast enough. Well, if you've been in and out of the rooms for 14 years and you're still dependent on that Tuesday night meeting.
And I believe it says right in the 12 by 12 that at some point you have to give up your loved AA group and start calling him by name is what it says in the 12
it does.
by 12.
You learn to call him by name. Yeah. Oh boy, bring that up in a meeting.
Ooh.
I'm going to be God specific. Oh no, you're not. Tradition 3.
I could do what I want.
The only requirement for membership. What's that got to do with that?
Exactly.
Sit down. You sit down. But okay, so the internet is here. I mean, it's been here and it's not going anywhere.
Yep.
Right.
Not going to end.
Zoom is here. It's not going anywhere.
Yep.
So I think we've taken what could have been a real bad thing, and I think we've turned it on its head and made it a good thing. Don't you think?
Absolutely. AA is supposed to change. It's supposed to be malleable. And we are, and that kind of goes back to we meet people where we are. I'm the recovered alcoholic.
Right.
We have a hybrid meeting. My home group, we help run a hybrid meeting. It's in person. It's at Community Reach Center, a little plug for them. But what we did is we made it a little bit more interactive. So even in the in-person group, you have to raise your virtual hand. And we made these big yellow hands and you write your name on the front and you put it out. And if you want to share, you raise your virtual hand so that everybody feels like they're doing the same thing. That kind of everybody's on the same page. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wanted to read something out of the big book
real
quick.
For it.
They wrote this in 2001. And this is the forward to the 4th edition. Taking advantage of technological advances, for example, AA members with computers can participate in meetings online, sharing with fellow alcoholics across the country or around the world. In any meeting, anywhere, AAs experience strength and hope with each other in order to stay sober and help other alcoholics, modem to modem or face to face. AA speak the language of the heart in all its power and simplicity. So we even called this one back in 2001.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that have never read what you just read, and they're very critical of any kind of interaction online because they don't understand the anonymity tradition. They don't understand the anonymity tradition.
They want to go back to I want to go back to the good old days too. When I was in AA in the 90s, it was entirely different.
Sure.
And I miss that camaraderie. I miss those people. And when COVID happened, it created a change. And I understand. I want to go back to the good old days too, but they're gone. So we have to create some new good days.
So utilizing the internet to carry the message of hope and recovery is literally the internet is the streets in many, many ways.
Yeah,
but let's move out from cyberspace into literal Skid Row, if you will.
Oh, okay.
In Portland, there are some meetings that are pretty rough around the edges, and I mean they're the old grumpy old men meetings where, but if you're able to set aside the personalities and really listen, there's an amazing amount of wisdom that comes out of these guys. And some of these guys have experienced the worst of the worst and they survived it, and they just don't want to see you die. And so they're a little rough.
And it can come across as anger.
But we need them.
But it's not. Absolutely.
We need those old scruffy old guys, right?
Yeah.
And so people will say, I'm going to such and such meeting, and somebody will say, oh boy. If you're wearing a shirt with tails, you better tuck in your shirt. You better be wearing a belt. And on Friday night and Saturday night, you best be wearing a tie, bro.
Yeah.
Seriously. And they take it very, very seriously. There are meetings. I'm not sure about Colorado, but there are speaker meetings when there are still people that will particularly men, that if they're asked to speak, they're wearing a suit.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's the way they grew up in the program. They're wearing the suit. It's out of respect for the meeting.
Generational thing. It's the older men that do that. But we were taught to dress that way, growing up. I mean, I learned how to tie a tie at a very young age. So looking good and presenting yourself as a working member of society it's kind of part of it, but times have also changed a little bit.
Sure.
So,
but there's a lot of folks in downtown Portland. They're very active in carrying the message literally to the guy that's laying in a urine-soaked sleeping bag in the corner somewhere. I mean, they'll go right up to him and hand him a big book, maybe a Gideon Bible, a blanket, some boots, and not say a word. Just give it to him.
Yeah,
stuff like
Why
that.
not?
There's a organization. I hope they're still around. They were called Operation Cover Up, and they would go in the middle of the night and they would find homeless folks around the street, and they would put wool blankets over them and a new pair of shoes, and they wouldn't wake them up. They'd just leave it there, and then they'd leave.
What a great!
Wow,
you know what?
That's awesome.
I love that, because when we were talking about this a little bit, there's a lot of people out there with their cameras shoving them in homeless space, saying, we're going to get you help. We're going to, let's try and get you help. I mean, I don't know what the intentions of these people
They're filming it?
So, yeah. And of course, it's got to be on camera. And we do this, and then you send them money. They help them get into treatment. But here's the problem. There's so much body brokering going on that it's like, if your intentions are bad in the first place, because you just want people to pat you on the back because you're out there helping homeless, supposedly. So when you go out and you do it and nobody sees it, that is the definition of humility.
Oh, man.
I can get on board with that.
Yes.
Why do we need to take credit for helping other people? What is that? We don't need that. That's God's anyway. That's not even mine to take credit for. The fact that I'm even sober by the grace of God and that I'm allowed to do it, that right there is where that I'm even allowed to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm thinking about I'm thinking about a verse in the Bible that talks about, don't be like the Pharisees, praying in public, wearing all your garb, and, for the sake of, I'm a religious, leader, but actually go to your prayer closet, so this whole idea is not to be boastful, right? And boy, is that a big challenge for the alcoholic and addict that's brand new.
I go through it too. I mean, you and I are in the limelight. We're here right now, but what did we do before we started? We prayed. We asked God for the right words. What did God want from this? Not what we wanted. I'm a tool. I'm a vessel. I'm the messenger.
Yeah. In fact, the big book says we are his agents.
Yeah.
I love that.
And so we're like AA super spies.
Get it, Dion. Get it. You don't have to be a secret agent for recovery. It doesn't have to be a secret. No. Don't make it a secret. So I and I've told this story before, but I remember walking in a grocery store, and I saw somebody from the local meeting in the store, and he didn't want to look at me. I'm like, "Hey, Fred, how you doing?" And, and so
I don't know you.
I saw him at the meeting. I said, "Hey, what's up with that? Did I offend you?" He goes, "Nope, I just don't want anybody to know that I'm in the program." I'm like, "How does saying hi to you in the grocery store expose what you're doing in private or otherwise?" What?
Do I have I'm an alcohol I'm an AA tattooed on my forehead?
Yeah, it's like
or
a video
something?
game. So you walk by people that are in the program with you, and all of a sudden there's a green glow that shows up. Bloop, bloop,
Yeah.
and then it goes away. Bloop, bloop. Oh, that guy's in the program. Yeah. There are people in church, in AA, in Rotary Club, in Boy Scout, you name your organization, that will not carry the message of their fellowship organization any other way than inside the building that they meet. And that is sad to me, because those organizations right there have a great deal to offer people. People need to know about it, right? We're so caught up in, staying in our own little box. My wife and I attended a church at one time that the name of it suggested, I'm going to be very careful here. The name of it suggested that it was very neighbor friendly. Okay. But when we suggested going to the neighbors and offering to mow their lawn with no expectations, or just inviting them to church, right? They didn't want to do it.
Oh. What are they? What do they fear? Is it their reputation, or
I don't know? Is that fear? Maybe. I mean,
I don't know. It sounds like a lack of faith in God. That's for sure.
Does, doesn't it?
To me, God's taken me through some pretty hard things, and I've come out the other side, man. So helping a neighbor, I mean, that's nothing.
If you were in the grocery store and somebody came up to you and said, "Hey, I know you. I saw you in the AA meeting last night."
Yeah, you did.
Would that bother you at all, or would you be looking around to see who's listening?
Advantage of it. No, I personally, I got kind of a loud voice anyway, but I would let that carry. I'm the kind of person where, like, if we're going to the ER, I will grab my chip and make sure I put it in my pocket so that people see it when I have to go through for security and they ask, "What is this?" I do that stuff on purpose. Any chance that I get to talk about recovery, I take. But it took me confronting my past, sitting down with God, earning his forgiveness and his trust first. So I had to settle my past, and I'm not embarrassed of the person that I had become, because I love who I am now. And I wouldn't be who I am if any of that stuff didn't happen. If I wasn't an alcoholic, I wouldn't be who I am.
So we do not regret the past nor wish to shut the door on it.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Because then how can we use it? Right?
No. If we haven't settled it, you can't use it. If you haven't settled it, it's still a problem.
Yeah.
Nothing. We got to take our problems and turn them into opportunities.
So, H&I, for those who don't know, stands for hospitals and institutions. This was a part of the 12-step fellowships, AA, NA, particularly, where there were actual committees. Sometimes they were dissolvable committees called ad hoc committees, where they were created for a purpose, and then the committee would dissolve.
Once the purpose is over,
but H&I was a big deal when I was coming up in the rooms of the 12-steppers. It was a big deal. And it was like, if you were asked to join an H&I committee, it was an honor. I mean, you just didn't go say, "I want to be on an H&I." People would approach you. It's almost like you had to earn it. You know what I mean? And it was a big deal. And we would go out to the highways and byways, and we would bring the message of the 12 steps, and that there was a solution to the alcohol problem or the narcotic problem or whatever. And we would bring it to the treatment centers, we bring it to the hospitals, we bring it to the jails, right? And people were enthused about it.
Yes.
I'm not seeing that much anymore. Are you?
Oh. No, I'm not.
What happened?
Well, we might get a little out of the scope here, but recovery coaching. The thing is, a lot of these recovery coaches went to the professionals, and I'm on the CPC committee here in Colorado. So, and that is Committee for the Professional Community. And what we do is we go and we explain AA to the professionals, so the professionals know what AA is about. And we had to redo this because recovery coaches were going in saying they were they were AA, they were this, they were that, but really they were a recovery coach, and it got real unethical. And now they, at least in Colorado, and I know this because I asked, they don't trust us anymore. The trust has been kind of lost. So I'm trying to, at least in Colorado, rebuild that trust with the professionals and let them know that wasn't us. That wasn't AA. Those were people being nefarious.
So they were representing themselves as being tied to AA as a recovery coach.
Yeah, some of the recovery coaches out here joined the Bridge the Gap program. And what they were doing was they would pick these people up for treatment centers, and especially if they were going into a sober living, and a Bridge the Gap, it's very hands off. You pick them up from treatment, you take them to their location, that's it. But what they were doing, say, I'll be your temporary sponsor. After about a month, then comes this. Hey, you know what? You'd make a great recovery coach. You don't really need AA. That's a part of it. But I'm going to make you a recovery coach. All right. Well, we know what's going to happen in this situation. They're going to fail. They're going to relapse. Now they are what? They're a client. Right. That's body brokering. And it's very prevalent in Colorado. And the professionals see this. And the trust has been blown.
So the professionals see it and they go, see, AA doesn't work.
That's exactly
right. It. And that's not AA.
Exactly. But then if you take it to central office, what they say is that's an outside issue and they do nothing. I'm like, you're right. It is an outside issue and you're letting it in.
It's an outside issue that needs to be addressed.
It does, but they won't talk. They refuse to talk to me about it. They really do. I have a few problems with the central office here, but that's my problem.
That's like if you had a
you can say it.
If you had your local loony noony AA meeting and an adult bookstore decided to move in next door. Well, first of all, most people are cross addicted in that area, especially if they've been shooting up meth for years.
Yeah.
All right. And so it's the adult bookstore next door, an outside issue. Yes. Does it need to be addressed? Probably.
Yeah, it probably does.
Like, can we help? Let us help you find a different location. These guys are really in trouble. And they're starting to come to the meeting, but they ended up in your building.
That's right.
But I mean, there's sometimes, and that's an extreme example, but there's sometimes outside issues need to be addressed, right? So here's one for you. Boy, I'm going to get it for this.
Oh, no.
Firearms.
Okay.
So we did a show several years ago. Are firearms acceptable to bring into the rooms of a 12-step meeting? And so one guy who I had a lot of respect for it was very dogmatic. Absolutely not. Never, never, never. No, 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 no.
Okay.
And I said, but what about in an open carry state, or the guy has a concealed weapons permit? The whole purpose of that is that you don't even know that he has one. People that carry firearms that have concealed carry permits, but they do it to where they want you to know they have it.
Yeah.
They're idiots. But
look how high I can jump.
Right. But if somebody started brandishing a weapon, right, or just wearing it to where it was, look at me, right, Is it an outside issue? Yes. Does it need to be addressed? Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. You know.
You know, and I'm all for your right to carry firearms.
Yeah, me
Like,
too.
I don't have a problem with it. But I don't think a meeting is the most appropriate place for
I'm not
it.
going to ask a guy
Yeah.
to if he's got a permit. I'm not going to ask the guy to put it in his car. I might
Yeah.
ask him at the break or outside of the meeting to say, you might want to rethink that. But I'm not
Sure.
going to jump his case about it. But
Mhm.
there's all sorts of stuff we don't want to talk about because they're outside issues.
Or they make us uncomfortable, and we
Right.
don't. Yeah, and if we haven't worked on our own stuff, it's going to be hard to, because we alcoholics want what we want. We feel like we are required to have this special place put aside for us, and really, that's just wrapping a alcoholic in bubble wrap, and that's not, that's not going to help at all.
I got lots of bubble
Um,
wrap in my garage.
A good, here in Colorado last year, what they wanted to do was take like a percent, like 5% of Mile High Stadium and make it to where it was for sober people only. And this bill was put out by somebody in recovery. And what they do is they go to places, the football games and stuff, and have a sober area. They're called Sober AF. Okay.
Really?
And they were pushing this. Yes. And I'm like, no, the answer is no to this. Because if you make things special for us, we're going to start thinking we're special, and then accountability goes. They just wanted it so they could build their own business. They didn't care about what actually happened.
Yeah.
Not only like that, but the guy's my age and he's doing EDM concerts. There's something not right here.
Well,
Okay.
listen.
Why are you wanting to hang out with the children, buddy? I mean, what's going on? These are things that I see, man. I don't trust.
So
I don't trust alcoholics.
a special section of seats just for sober people at
Yeah.
the football stadium. How is that teaching people to be able to live productively in society without relapsing?
Man. If you need that, you still have an alcoholic mind.
You haven't recovered.
You
haven't
need to talk
recovered
to
yet.
God. Exactly.
Yeah.
Which means it's probably best that you don't go yet. Then go help another alcoholic.
like,
then go do something.
I can't go grocery
productive.
shopping for my vegetables because it's across from the beer aisle, and I can't look at it. I can't look at it.
Or the people that go the other way. God tested my recovery, and I walked down the beer aisle. God didn't do that.
Yeah, right.
You did that. God don't. He ain't got time to shove alcohol.
And there was a time in my early sobriety, and I say sobriety because it really wasn't recovery yet. It was just abstinence, right?
Yeah.
There was a time in my early sobriety when I really didn't have any business getting my vegetables at that store because all the booze was right there.
I would
there
agree.
was a time,
yeah.
but in the process and coming to a place in step 12 where I had a spiritual awakening as a result of the work, and I experienced the state of recovered. Now I can go anywhere. Because it's no longer an issue. The problem has been resolved. The book says it does not exist for us anymore. And so
I love it.
I can go to a wedding and everybody can be sloshed. I can pay my respects and then I can leave. I'm going to grab a piece of cake on the way out, but
I'm going to probably have more than one piece
and then
of
I
cake.
got to go to my OA meeting.
Yeah.
All right. Closing thoughts on taking recovery to the streets. Dion, what do you think?
I would have to say, okay, hold space for people while you're out there. Maybe you're at Starbucks and I like to go over and get my sugar and there's somebody standing in front of you there. Oh, I'm sorry, like they were in my way or something. Say so. You know what? No, it's okay. Take your time. You were here first. Take your time. Hold the door open for people without expecting anything in return.
Even if you get snotty about it, still do it.
Do it. Yeah, do it because it's the right thing to do. Just like we were talking earlier that, I may only have 3-4 people there, but what happens is then I help their day better. And then it affects hundreds of people throughout the day. Hundreds of people.
Yeah.
So, really it's about our attitude. And let's not let the newcomers flounder. If they need a sponsor, approach them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And if you don't know how to, grab somebody that does and say, hey, I need some help. I really feel like I should
Yeah.
approach this guy. Can you help me do this? You know what I mean?
Great suggestion.
Yeah.
Great suggestion.
Yeah. Absolutely. Because listeners, there's people listening to this right now and watching this right now that are more than qualified to help somebody. There's some of you that are not. That's okay. Right. But for those of you that you've been sitting around soaking it all up, but you haven't been willing to give it away, you might want to reconsider that.
Yeah,
you know,
got to give it away. It's I don't know why you wouldn't want to give it away. It's the best part.
Yeah, it's a spiritual principle.
It's the best part
too.
So.
Yeah, you can't keep it unless you give it away. It's that oxymoron. Is that what it's called? Oxymoron?
Paradox.
Paradox. No, that's two doctors.
Yours just a paradox.
So what do they call it? Scissors, right? There's only one.
Oh my God.
So it'd be a single sizz, wouldn't it?
That's too philosophically big for me.
I know, but yeah, they're two blades, but so one would be a sizz. or a letter opener.
Yeah. Or a letter opener. Yeah. Or knife.
Oh my gosh. All right. Okay. Here's the deal, you guys. If you're in your little box and you've been gifted with a new life, a life that has just been renewed, and you're experiencing the blessings of God, and you're keeping it to yourself, please don't, because now you have something that God has entrusted you to give away to other people, right? Take it to the streets. What are your streets? Maybe it's your next door neighbor, right? Who's your neighbor? And it doesn't have to be somebody on the left side of your house. Maybe it's the person on the right side. Who knows? Go mow somebody's lawn that can't mow their lawn. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
Just people are hungry for social interaction, particularly because of the internet. People don't want to admit it, but they're starving for it,
Absolutely.
And if not you, then who? Until our next broadcast, this is the Monty Man along with Dion Miller, our intern Kat, and you're in the studio with us, and the rest of the Take 12 Recovery radio family. And we are wishing God's perfect serenity for each and every one of you. Bye.
Don't let the weights of the past keep you down. There's a melody here to turn it around. In each story and song, you'll find a friend, a chorus of courage that'll never end.
This has been a broadcast of Take 12 Recovery Radio and KHLT Recovery Broadcasting.
This has been a Chicken and a Pig production.